Hey all, welcome to ShareTrekc. This is Raj here, friends. Today I'm going to be talking about CRISPR and Vertex's Exa-cel. I'm going to be going into the Adcom details because there has been more information that has come out about what happened exactly in the discussion at Adcom. We'll be touching upon the question about having sufficient data to prove that off-base edits and other side effects would not be there. So I'm going to be looking at each and everything that I could lay my hands on and put it in a structured manner and present it to you by breaking down the key points and trying to keep it as straightforward as possible. So with that said, let's get started. Welcome back, friends. In the current scenario, the FDA is considering the approval of Exa-cel, which is a CRISPR-Cas9 based editing therapy, which is designed to cure sickle cell disease as well as beta thalassemia. The central issue is whether the therapy could lead to unintended edits in the genetic code, commonly known as off-target effects. And the advisory panel had a lot of robust discussion around this. On a recent Tuesday Adcom meeting with outside advisors, the FDA discussed the need for further testing to identify off-target edits in the ongoing clinical trials for Exa-cel. The panel's primary recommendation was to prioritize long-term monitoring of such off-target edits in Exa-cel. And we should note that Vertex Pharmaceuticals is a sponsor for this treatment. So I'm going to be talking about Vertex more often than CRISPR, though both of them are partnering in it. And the implication extend to the broader field of CRISPR-based therapies in the current development when you look at Exa-cel being approved. There are some challenges in the field. The novelty of gene editing technology and the scarcity of long-term human data poses unique challenges. The efficacy of gene editing can be measured relatively easily, but potential side risk may take years to manifest. These risks include concerns about off-target edits causing serious issues such as cancer or other unforeseen problems. And in terms of technical details, Vertex Pharmaceuticals conducted a comprehensive range of off-target edit tests, including computer modeling, and they did something called as in silico tests, and they used guide SEQ, a genome-wide test for off-target cuts, and a study showing 14 donors, both healthy and patients with sickle cell disease and beta thalassemia. The results indicated no significant off-target effects, and panelists scrutinized those testing methods, but questioned whether additional testing would provide substantial new insight to improve the confidence level. And when talking about risk assessment, the Exa-cel to treat a sickle cell patient by editing their blood stem cells to express fetal hemoglobin, a concern raised during the FDA meeting was Nature Medicine paper, which reported the potential for off-target edits in an allele found in around 5% of African ancestry population. While this allele is relevant to sickle cell patient, it highlights broader questions about off-target edits in patients with uncommon genetic variants. So there was a panel discussion. Vertex's scientific officer, David Altshuler, acknowledged that the Nature Medicine paper had flagged a potential off-target effect, but the company's further investigation did not find this variation in the 14 donors studied. Testing more samples for off-target edits was questioned, as the rarity of the variant might make it difficult to detect even with a substantial number of samples. And then we had some discussions there regarding the assessing efficacy. The FDA meeting did not focus on the treatment's efficacy, as it has shown potential promise in clinical trials. The pivotal study demonstrated positive results with 29 out of 30 patients experiencing no pain crisis for at least 1 year, and several patients who received the therapy testified about its life-transforming effects during the open hearing. So it was affirmation of confidence on the efficacy. So efficacy was not much at question. It was a sample size and off-target effects that was the main focus. Panelists suggested that a 15-year follow-up study by Vertex could help monitor potential off-target effects, and the exact method of monitoring remained unclear. Although early suggestions included the use of blood samples It's now more or less a recommendation from the Adcom that it's better to take 15 years of data ongoing, which is suggesting more of a conditional approval with the condition of collecting data for the next 15 years. And in terms of implication, the FDA decision has broader implication for the field of gene editing, as it could pave the way for the approval of additional sickle cell gene therapies. Vertex and CRISPR's Exa-cel might be approved by December, followed by Bluebird's lovo-cel. In conclusion, this decision by FDA regarding the Vertex Pharmaceuticals Exa-cel represents a significant milestone in genetic medicine. It highlights the ongoing challenges in ensuring the safety of gene editing technology and its implication for the treatment of genetic diseases. As we move forward, monitoring and further research will be crucial to unlock the full potential of this revolutionary approach. Overall, I'm thinking that the FDA asking for more data is a possibility that cannot be ruled out. But at the same time, given the acute need for therapies and also the recommendation from the Adcom that collecting more data does not guarantee any additional confidence, makes me feel that that a conditional approval is at the very base level of outcomes, and there's a higher possibility when it comes to Exa-cel. And CRISPR shares can take a beating if approval is not received and can continue to raise if an approval is granted. However, as soon as the price goes up, and I think that it's gone to a plateau, I'm going to be selling covered calls in order to safeguard on the downside. And I'm thinking that approval is a foregone conclusion as far as Exa-cel is concerned. Of course, friends, these are my personal opinions and not financial advice, so please do your own due diligence. But personally, I hold 100 shares of CRISPR, and I'm going to hold it for the long term. But as soon as I think that the upside has reached a plateau, I'm going to sell a covered call to safeguard the downside, and I'm going to hold the shares for a longer term because CRISPR Therapeutics has a huge pipeline, and also the marketing is in the right direction, in my opinion, when they are scouting for more partners for the unpartnered therapies which are in the pipeline, and many of them wholly owned by CRISPR are in phase 2 clinical trials. So it looks very interesting to me. Not phase 2, I'd say advanced clinical trials. So it looks really interesting to me. And I think I'm going to hold CRISPR for the long term. And when you look at Bluebird also, I had done a Bluebird video earlier. Bluebird had robust data for their lovo-cel, and they didn't have Adcom called at all. So I think Bluebird's lovo-cel and CRISPR and Vertex's Exa-cel are going to be the highlight for the gene medicine field. In December, it's going to be part of the Santa Claus rally, in my opinion. So I'm all set to wait for both Bluebird and CRISPR to give us higher returns. I'm holding 600 shares of Bluebird and 100 shares of CRISPR Therapeutics. And I think it may potentially have a little bit of a halo effect, but the halo effect won't last for the other companies because they're all very far away from monetizing. So with that, my friends, I'd like to end this video. I'd like to hear from you. What are your thoughts about Bluebird's Exa-cel and lovo-cel? Do you hold any of these shares? How long do you plan to hold? And are you profitable at this point of time? With that said, I'd like to end this video here. Bye for now.